Tennis Live. Carlos Alcaraz devastated behind scenes as Jannik Sinner breaks his own rule. Express Sport keeps you up to date with the latest tennis news. The dust has barely settled on a pair of thrilling French Open finals in which Coco Gauff and Carlos Alcaraz emerged victorious. On Sunday, it was the turn of the men, with second seed Alcaraz coming from behind to break the heart of world number 1 Jannik Sinner, who was 2 sets up and powering towards his first Roland Garros triumph before the tide turned. One day prior, it was Aryna Sabalenka who saw her lead slip against Gauff in a heavyweight match which was guaranteed to crown a new French Open champion whichever way it went. Now, players will switch their attention to the grass court season, which begins at Queen's this week. Follow Express Sports live tennis updates below. When is Emma Raducanu playing today? Emma Raducanu will begin her singles campaign at Queen's Club later today. She faces Spanish qualifier Cristina Buxa in her opening match, which is due to start at around 2:10 p.m. This could be subject to change if the schedule runs over. If the young Brit wins today, she could face a tough test against reigning Wimbledon champion Barbara Krejcikova in round 2. Sebastian Korda withdraws from Queen's Club. Sebastian Korda has pulled out of Queen's Club and the Libema Open ahead of Wimbledon starting later this month. He reached the third round of the French Open, where he was beaten by Francis Tiafoe in straight sets. Korda did not appear to have any physical issues in that match. No official reasons were given for his decision to pull out of both pre-Wimbledon events. Andy Murray shuts down Rafael Nadal comparisons. Andy Murray believes Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner cannot be compared to Rafael Nadal despite playing the greatest French Open final of all time. The sport's in a really good place, but it's important not to forget what the guys have done before them, what Roger, Rafa and Novak have done, said Murray. Winning 20-plus majors is something exceptional, and it's easy in today's age to forget a little bit about that. I saw some pundits saying if Alcaraz and Sinner went on court against Rafa at the French Open, they would be favorites going into that match with Rafa in his prime. Alcaraz and Sinner are on the path to being 2 of the best, no doubt about that, but it takes time to build what Roger, Rafa and Novak had. We'll see whether they get that. Jannik Sinner paid the price for 3-month ban. Emma Raducanu's coach Mark Pecci thinks Jannik Sinner paid the price for his 3-month ban during the French Open final. The young Italian blew 3 championship points, and Pecci believes it was down to a lack of match sharpness. He told TNT Sports, "I think there are a lot of people who feel that he did not pay a price when he had 3 months away from the game. He has not played a lot of big matches in recent months, and I think the emotional toll, as well as he did to turn things around and make a revival in the 5th set, was crucial for him against someone like Carlos Alcaraz. I think that he has paid a pretty significant price in terms of not putting a 3rd straight Grand Slam on his resume." Rafael Nadal set for new job. Rafael Nadal is set to be offered a special role at Roland Garros, according to event boss Amélie Mauresmo. She said, "It's now the common desire of the tournament and of Rafa to have some form of collaboration. We focused on what was happening this year with the communications campaign and homage. We will resume our discussions so this story the tournament has had with Rafa over the past 20 years may continue in one way or another." Nadal is the most successful player in the history of the French Open, having won the tournament a record 14 times. Raducanu and Bolter eyeing Wimbledon title after doubles debut. Emma Raducanu and Katie Bolter have joked they're eyeing up the Wimbledon doubles title. Speaking at Queen's, Raducanu said, "We haven't spoken about it. It worked pretty well, so we're just going to keep on trying to do as best we can this week." Bolter, tongue-in-cheek, chimed in, "Scrap what she said, we're going for the Wimbledon title." "No, I'm just kidding."